Hey, dreamers, let me ask you something as we kick off today's episode. Have you ever hit a goal, closed the deal, grown your revenue, booked that trip, and instead of feeling happy, you just felt, well, on to the next thing? Like your brain skipped right past celebration and straight into, well, what's next? I found something over the years, both as a small business coach and in my own life. Success doesn't automatically create happiness, gratitude does. And so today I want to talk about the one daily gratitude practice that has made me a happier leader and how it directly impacts your business, your relationships, your income, and your dreams. Because around here, we don't just talk about building success. We talk about building a life you actually enjoy living through leadership, fulfillment, and growth. So let's dive into today's episode. Well, the first thing that I want to share is that I've found that leaders who aren't grateful, well, they do become chronically dissatisfied. And here's what I've noticed in myself and also in a lot of the entrepreneurs that I coach. The higher that you climb, the easier it becomes to focus on what's not working, what's not big enough, what's not happening fast enough. And ambition without gratitude becomes exhaustion. And research from Harvard Health Publishing shows that practicing gratitude improves mood, lowers stress, and increases overall well-being. Neuroscience studies show gratitude activates the brain's dopamine and serotonin pathways. The same ones really connected to motivation and happiness. So when I wasn't practicing gratitude daily, I was achieving, but I wasn't enjoying. And what's the point of building dreams if you can't feel them? So gratitude protects fulfillment. Now, the second thing I found is that gratitude grounds me in leadership instead of ego. And as a leader, it's easy to slip into pressure, whether that's pressure to perform, hit numbers, grow faster, prove yourself. But when I start my day with gratitude, I lead from grounded confidence instead of ego-driven urgency. So instead of thinking, I have to make this happen, I think I get to build this. And that small shift changes how I show up in calls with clients, coaching conversations, parenting, team leadership. Robert Emmons, one of the world's leading gratitude researchers and author of Thanks, How Practicing Gratitude Can Make You Happier, found that gratitude increases pro-social behavior and empathy, which are foundational traits of strong leadership. And gratitude softens intensity without weakening ambition. And that's leadership maturity. Now, the third thing I found is that gratitude expands what you notice. So what you focus on expands, and it's kind of cliche, but it's also neurologically true. Your reticular activating system, your RAS, filters information based on what your brain believes is important. So when I actively practice gratitude, I train my brain to notice progress, opportunities, support, wins, instead of delays, comparison, lack, mistakes. Gratitude shifts your awareness from scarcity to possibility. And scarcity thinking shrinks dreams. Abundance thinking fuels the growth. Now, the fourth thing is that the daily gratitude practice that I actually use, this is not complicated. Every morning, I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for and why they matter. And the why is everything. So instead of, why I'm grateful for my business, I'll write down things like I'm grateful for my business because it allows me to create impact and flexibility. That emotional expansion really reinforces meaning. And sometimes it's small. Maybe it's things like the way my kids laughed last night, a client breakthrough, my health, a hard conversation handled well. And this really does take 3 to 5 minutes, but it genuinely recalibrates my entire nervous system. And as a leader, your nervous system sets the tone for everyone around you. Now, the fifth thing that I found is that gratitude makes hard seasons lighter. Gratitude is not denial. It doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means holding perspective while solving them. In hard seasons, financial pressure, business slowdowns, personal stress, gratitude prevents bitterness. Martin Seligman, founder of positive psychology, he's the founder, found that gratitude journaling significantly reduces depressive symptoms and increases resilience. Resilience is required for growth. You cannot build big dreams if every obstacle emotionally derails you. And gratitude builds emotional stamina. Now, the sixth thing is I found that gratitude increases my capacity for joy. And this one surprised me. When I started practicing gratitude consistently, I didn't just feel calmer, I felt happier. I laughed more, I celebrated more, I noticed beauty more. And fulfillment isn't found in achieving more. It's found in appreciating more. And when you operate from joy instead of pressure, you sell differently, lead differently, connect differently. And people are magnetized to grounded joy. And that impacts your business. Now, the seventh thing I found is that gratitude strengthens relationships. When I began intentionally expressing gratitude to my team, my clients, my family, everything shifted. People feel valued, they feel seen, they feel important. And when people feel important, they perform better and they connect deeper. So research in organizational psychology shows that leaders who express appreciation consistently have higher employee engagement and retention because gratitude builds loyalty and loyalty builds long-term success. Now, the eighth thing I found is that gratitude breaks the arrival illusion. We've talked about this before on this podcast, the illusion of arrival. When I hit six figures, then I'll relax. When business stabilizes, then I'll enjoy it. Gratitude breaks that because it forces you to see you already have so much. And when you build from appreciation instead of desperation, growth becomes sustainable. So you don't chase from lack, you expand from wholeness. And that's that sweet spot. Now, the ninth thing that I found is that gratitude makes me a more present wife, mom, and human. And this one's personal because when I practice gratitude daily, I'm less distracted by future worries, comparison, outcome obsession, and I'm more present. Presence is fulfillment. And your dreams mean nothing if you miss your life while building them. Gratitude anchors you to the now. And the 10th thing that I found is that happiness is a leadership decision, not a circumstance. This might be the biggest shift. Happiness is not something that happens when the business grows, when the kids behave, when the money hits, the pressure lifts. Happiness is practice, and gratitude is the gateway practice. As Shawn Achor shares in The Happiness Advantage, happiness fuels success, not the other way around. So when your brain is positive, productivity increases, creativity improves, performance rises, happier leaders build healthier businesses, and healthier businesses create sustainable growth. So how this practice helps you achieve your dreams? When you practice gratitude daily, you reduce emotional volatility, you increase resilience, you build stronger relationships, you operate from abundance, you enjoy the journey. And when you enjoy the journey, you don't quit early. Dreams are not achieved by the most intense. They're achieved by the most consistent. Gratitude strengthens consistency. So if you want to explore some of the science and psychology behind this, some of the books that I'd recommend checking out is The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor, Thanks by Robert Emmons, Flourish by Martin Seligman, and even just checking out the Harvard Health Publishing articles on gratitude research are really, really helpful. Even just doing a simple Google search of gratitude, neuroscience, dopamine, serotonin will show you how powerful this is biologically. This isn't fluffy, it's strategic, emotional leadership. So if today's episode resonated, if you're realizing that leadership starts internally, I want you inside the LFG Business Academy on School. It's completely free. And inside, you'll learn the LFG framework, how to lead yourself before you lead others, systems for scalable growth, and you'll get access to the mini leadership series because gratitude is step one, but leadership systems sustain it. And you can find that link in the show notes. You don't need a bigger business to be happier. You don't need a different season. You don't need to arrive somewhere new. You need a daily practice that reminds you what's already working. Leadership starts with how you think. Fulfillment starts with what you appreciate. Growth starts with emotional stability. And gratitude builds all three. Because your dream life doesn't begin when you hit the goal. It begins with how you lead today. I'll see you next time on your Dream Coach podcast.